grocer. And these cabins might be more expensive than other moderate options, but you're going to get a lot more space and a lot more privacy for the price. Now, proximity, Fort Wilderness is considered a Magic Kingdom resort, which means it's close to the Magic Kingdom. The problem is getting from your cabin to the Magic Kingdom boat could take some doing because there is an internal bus system here. And the internal bus system can take a lot of time if you're just constantly waiting for buses. So to get from your cabin over to the Magic Kingdom boat, maybe 1 or 2 internal buses. And then once you're there, you gotta wait for the boat, and then you gotta go all the way over. So it can still run into some time and take a good hour to get you from your cabin to Magic Kingdom, even though it's considered to be close to Magic Kingdom. And of course, you're only gonna have buses for everything else from Fort Wilderness. And in order to get to the front of the park where the buses leave from, you have to take an internal bus again. So there's always gonna be internal bus to the next leg of transportation. So there's usually gonna be at least 2 legs of transportation to get anywhere you wanna go. But don't forget, you can park your car by the cabins, so you could potentially drive to the front of the hotel and catch the bus there. Okay, pros and cons for Fort Wilderness Resort. First up, it's peaceful. That's a definite pro. Even though you're kind of far away from everything, that means you can get away from everything, and that's the perfect vacation, right? Personal grocery delivery service available here, lots of space in your cabin, and a personal kitchen. Cons, you're far away from everything, like I said, and transportation can be real slow. It's also more expensive than other moderate options. All right, next on our list is Pop Century Hotel, Pop Century Resort. Rankings are transportation 7, proximity 5, dining is a 2, value is a 7, and swank factor is a 2. Reader rank is a 7 for a total of 30 points. Do you want to be close to the action but still save some money in the process? Then you may want to consider Pop Century Resort for your upcoming stay. Disney's Art of Animation and Pop Century Resort share the same Skyliner station, meaning you'll have Skyliner access to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. You can also hit up Disney's Riviera Resort and Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort if you're looking for more dining options, since they're right on the Skyliner route, real easy to get to. This is the biggest value resort with 3,000 rooms available, so expect it to be kind of crowded. Much like the All-Star hotels, Pop Century only has 1 quick service location, Everything Pop. So expect food court style dining, but nothing more. That being said, you're on the Skyliner route, so if you need to swing by a different place to grab a bite, that option is much more available to you here than, for example, at the All-Stars. Now, if you're not too keen on using the Skyliner system, which is fair, those gondolas transport you from one location to the next while you're 60 feet above ground, and it can be disorienting for those who have a fear of heights or any vertigo.
I did.
Another complimentary transportation option you can use here, though, is the Disney bus system. Buses might be more crowded since, again, this is the biggest value resort, so it may take longer to get to the parks. Unfortunately, if you're relying on Disney transportation to get you to and from the parks, you can't avoid the buses if you're heading to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Disney Springs. Those areas are not on the Skyliner route, so if you have a dining reservation for one of those spots, make sure to arrive at the bus stop very early so you don't miss your reservation window. This resort is probably my least favorite when it comes to overall theming. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of it. Pop Century's atmosphere is based around the decades ranging from the 1950s to the 1990s, so it's got this blast from the past vibe. Colors and groovy energy, but it all feels sort of cheesy. Instead of feeling purposefully dated, it just feels outdated. But it can all be a little bit cheesy if that's not the vibe you're going for. It is starting to feel a little bit dated now, I will be honest. The outside facade of each of the different hotel buildings looks like they've got cutout characters slapped across the front, and those larger-than-life multiple items you find scattered around the property aren't nearly as cool as the larger-than-life Disney characters you can pose with at the other value resort. So, call me picky, but that's just my 2 cents about the style here. In general, the biggest draw for Pop Century is that it's going to be your most affordable hotel on the Skyliner route. Alright, let's talk pros and cons for Pop Century. Pros are it's very budget friendly, well, for Disney. The food court provides lots of cheaper options for eating, and they have really good options as well. Skyliner access here, that's awesome, and it's great for families. Cons are the theming can be kind of cheesy depending on what you're looking for. The transportation to and from Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom can be slow because you don't have the Skyliner option for that, you just got buses. There's no table service restaurants available to Pop Century, and it gets busy and crowded here. Okay, we're going to move on next to Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Rankings here, transportation 1, proximity 2, dining 6, value 7, swank factor is 7, and reader rank is also 7 for a total of 30 points. If you're wanting luxury but you're also on a budget, then Disney's Coronado Springs Resort might be just the moderate resort you're looking for. This hotel is gorgeous, especially the Grand Casino Tower section of the hotel. That one opened back in 2019. Grandestino Tower section was included in the Coronado Springs area, it transformed what was an already stylish Mexico, southeastern United States inspired setting to something very cosmopolitan, giving the resort a deluxe feel at a more moderate price range. Now, heads up, this moderate hotel has always sort of been the more sophisticated moderate hotel because it's always been where the conventions were held. Adding the Grandestino Tower, also another fitness center, lots more amenities. That means this got a big bump up in 2019. Look for fine dining, lounges, spa services, extra gyms, fireworks dining. You can see the Epcot and Hollywood Studios fireworks from Grandestino's Dahlia Lounge. Their outdoor seating provides patio benches, coffee tables, comfy pillows. You can lounge and enjoy the shows from afar. Coronado Springs also has the biggest hot tub on Disney property. Hey, hey, hey. You can find it over at the Dig site, which is the pool area themed around the Mayan ruins. But as classy as this resort is, it doesn't really capture that over-the-top Disney vibe that younger kids might be missing when staying here. This is more of a conference hotel, like I said, complete with its own business center. So if you're here for work or you're on a honeymoon, you don't really need Mickey plastered all over the walls and decor, then this might fit the sophisticated vibe you're looking for. But if you're looking for a more family-friendly hotel, you may want to study up on this one a little bit before booking a room here. It's going to provide a lot more upscale vibes than the other moderate hotels on property. You're not going to find like those princess rooms in here. Now, another thing to keep in mind about Coronado Springs is that it's fairly far away from the Disney parks. You're still over here in the Animal Kingdom resort area, still far away from Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. So getting to and from places using Disney's complimentary transportation can take a big chunk out of your day, especially since the only complimentary transportation at this resort is, you guessed it, the buses. And each bus makes multiple stops around the hotel because it's huge. So even if you see a bus approaching for the park you're wanting to go to, there may not be enough room for you to board because it just stopped at like 4 other bus stops around the hotel. Now that can get real frustrating after a few buses pass you by. Because this hotel is so big, expect to do a lot of walking here on top of the thousands of steps you're going to take during your time in the parks. If you're in one of the buildings far away from the lobby, for example, and you need food, you got to do a lot of outdoor walking to get over to the food. So depending on which Coronado Springs building you're in, you could find yourself walking 20 to 25 minutes just to get over to the lobby. So another big tip when you're staying here is look at all the buildings and make a request for a certain one or a specific one. Say, I would love to stay in this building. If you want to be close to the pool, if you want to be close to the lobby, etc., that's going to help you out a lot. Pros and cons for Coronado Springs Resort. It's a beautiful pool option. You've got lots of pools, and the feature pool is really nice. It's a deluxe resort with a moderate price tag. You gotta love that. And there are lots of extra amenities. You've got 2 fitness centers, table service restaurants, lounges, a lot of amenities that you don't usually have in a moderate hotel. Cons here, it's a huge resort. There's a lot of walking. The transportation can be slow because all you got is that bus. And it's not as family friendly as other resorts because